afternoon, everyone. This is Chadwick, Niles, Phillips of the Avant Garde, and I am sitting here with two incredible, amazing artists, Cameron Wright and Adam Bohanan. How are you two doing?
We're good. I think I'm good.
I'm great.
Well, with the great things that y'all been doing lately, I know both of you are feeling like amazing. The people that love you are proud of you. I'm proud of you. So let's get into just who you two are. So Adam, where were you born and raised?
So I was born in Long Island, New York. When I was about 4, I left the States and I moved to Israel. And I lived there for about 6 years. And then I moved to England. I lived in England for 10 years. I did my schooling there. Okay. And then I moved to Houston, Texas. And I lived there for a couple of years. And that's where I learned to speak with an American accent. Yeah. And then I moved to New York, and I lived there for like 17 years before I moved to the Twin Cities about 4 years ago. So I'm, if you add that all up, I'm 40.
Right.
And yeah, that's my like early life in a nutshell. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Cameron?
Hello. I was born actually in St. Louis, Missouri. I was raised in the Twin Cities. My mom moved here in '95. She joined a group, and then I moved a year later and immediately just started going on the road with her, singing. I left the Twin Cities immediately after high school, went back to St. Louis for a couple years, lived with my grandparents. That was where I kind of like dibbled and dabbled in like songwriting and like more artistic expression. Came back to the Twin Cities and then moved to LA in 2015.
For sure.
Yeah.
So starting with you, Cameron, how did your upbringing within the Twin Cities formulate your vision on how you create music?
I don't know if my upbringing in the Twin Cities like formulated a vision for that. I think that was just like I learned how to create in the way that God gifted me to, just through life's experiences. But what the Twin Cities did give me was school. Just like growing up around the Steele family, growing up around Sounds of Blackness and Ann Nesby and Darnell Davis, I was around world-class musicians nonstop, my mom.
Yeah.
So I practiced. I wanted to be the best. And by the best, I mean I wanted to be the best that I could be because everybody that I knew were at their very best. So It was like a school of music growing up here.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
And then Adam, you have a international upbringing, you know, from England to Israel to Houston. How did your travels formulate the way that you create music or your vision on your musical philosophy?
It's funny. So my mom basically took us from my father when we were quite young, and we traveled a lot with her.
Yeah.
And when we were in Israel, we were influenced a lot by the Israeli culture, and then when we were in England, I was listening to mostly what my mom listened to, like, you know, her like her kind of music that she enjoyed, and I would sing songs to like make her happy. And then I was working at a market in London, and I was like 14, 15 years old, you know, too young to be working, but then I walked down the market and I realized that I was really drawn to one of these like markets stalls that sold like, you know, bootleg CDs, and it was Music Soul Child and Jaheim and like I was like drawn to that, and that's when I really leaned into more of like my style of what I love, and it's like my like bringing me back to my culture, which is like Black culture. Yeah. And so I delved deep into that side of myself, and that's what I started singing, and that's what I was all about. And that pushed me to kind of meld the two together of how I was brought up with my mom singing like James Taylor and Carole King and stuff for her. Yeah. And then like what I love, neo soul, and bringing that together, making sort of like what I call dirty soul.
Yeah, I remember you told Reba that.
Yeah. And that's
a whole new
like,
genre.
Yeah, like I'm trying to like that's what I love to do, and that's how that influenced me. And moving to New York, like getting to connect with other singer-songwriters out there, that's the type of stuff that I ended up writing, yeah.
Okay. Which artists did you grow up listening to? I mean, I'm an artist, and I remember like the different artists that influenced me to want to become an artist, you know? Who influenced you? who are the different artists and how do they influence your style, your sound, everything?
Yeah, so that list is so long, but to synopsize that answer, there's an amalgam of artists that are so different and also some that are similar. So funny that you mentioned James Taylor. James Taylor is a huge influence on my songwriting. Bill Withers,
Yes.
Whitney Houston, the Clark sisters, Aretha Franklin, Shaka Khan. Vocally, a lot of women, but as far as our artistry, Prince, Stevie, because I'm also a writer, I'm also an arranger, I'm also a visual artist. So there's just so many people that just make up the Cameron Wright package.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, for me it was as we talked about, like my mom's influence was a big part of my life, and so as I said, James Taylor, Carole King, also the Beatles. She loved the Beatles, and like Elvis, she made me sing for her. But when I started doing my own thing, it was more like leaning into the neo soul. So it's like Jaheim and Music Soul Child. And as I became more adult, I listened to more like Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye and like a lot of that sort of like a Motown-y sort of vibe.
Yeah.
And then I really delved into like stuff like D'Angelo, and like D'Angelo is one of my like biggest influences as far as like feel and vibe of what I like to do. And so that's that's what I would say is like one of my biggest influences. But again, the list is just so extensive, right? Never ending. It's never ending. It's always growing.
It's always like that with great artists.
Exactly.
Great artists are like a jambalaya of so many different influences that meshes into one person.
Right.
So starting with you, within your career, seeing you've opened up for people like Greg Reporter, Craig Robinson, how did those situations make you that much more inspired? Because I have situations within my career when I'm around certain people I either looked up to, saw on TV. It's like, wow, I'm in this position. How did that like put more fuel in your engine to keep going, or like add to your motivation and inspiration as far as having a successful career in music?
Yeah, that's a great question, because like that is absolutely something that I've experienced. Where I see somebody that I love, that is just incredible, and or like either open for them or just like go to see a show. And I just have to get home and write. Like I have to work. I'm like, no, I can't be here anymore. I gotta go home. I gotta pick up my guitar and work on this. And like that happened to me when I saw like both times I saw D'Angelo, when I went to like Afropunk, and I saw like Raphael Sadiq, and I saw Bilal, and I was like, I need to be working on music, because I need to like, it's you're constantly trying to keep up in a way. And that's how I kind of feel. And I also just like, inspired, like just being so moved by the music that you want to. I went to see Stevie the other day at the Target Center, and it was like going to church for me. I was like, my hand in the air, like my wife was sitting down. I was like, I couldn't sit down. I was like, it was an experience. So it is very inspiring to like be moved by that. How per se, I couldn't tell you. Like, it's just like I am influenced by them, but like I'm more influenced to actually move than it is to like create something similar to what they're doing.
Indeed.
But like, and when I hear somebody that I am really inspired by, it just helps me, like you said, fuel the fire to get moving and get going. Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely. And Cameron, I've been able to see your evolution, firsthand, and to see you from when I met you to where you're at, I just want to say congratulations, as a person in the town, on the scene. From you being at 5 years old, starting a professional career, a lot of people don't even do that until they're like 20, 21, 22. Along with that, at 10 years old, you performing at Major League Baseball events, NFL events, to Stevie Wonder, finding your demo and flying you out. Like, just to you performing background with Beyonce at Coachella, me seeing you from when I would see you on the scene here at Ornelas performing, the Dakota to where you're at now. Like, how did that influence and inspire you as far as how you envisioned yourself being in these positions and just you continuing with your career?
I think that, like Adam said, I can't necessarily put my finger or explain the how, but I can just tell you the feeling.
Yeah.
I think like having opportunities from Stevie to Beyonce to Snow Allegra to the 1975, just all these little milestones in my career. It was like belief being materialized. So I already know and believe that I can do it. But then it was just like another push forward. Like, look what room you're in. Look what you did. You moved to LA with no money. You're doing Coachella for the second time. You moved to LA with no money. You're doing the Oscars. So it was just all these little nuggets that were materialized in this world that just said, keep going.
Totally.
So yeah.
Indeed. All right. My favorite part of the interview, the voice. Like, I'm sitting down and I'm watching, and I see Adam singing, and I see Reba turn her seat around and choose you. And Adam, the thing that I noticed about you is you treated them like you already knew them. You were like that comfortable on stage with the lights and So not just that experience, just tell me about the experience of signing up for The Voice, going, because it's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of artists that apply for this and fly out, and they have the faith and to be that person that made it, as far as you have. Just tell the people about that experience.
Yeah, so it's a lot of checks. There's a lot of checkpoints before you actually get to the stage. And there, like, we did, like, I don't know about you, Cameron, but I did my audition remote. Like my initial audition, I did that remote.
Yeah.
And it's not my first time auditioning. I did the cattle call back in I want to say 2015 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I did another audition back in 2019. And then recently I was just like, I'm about to turn, this was like right before my 40th birthday. It's like, I'm about to turn 40. I need to get a spark of fire behind me. And so I decided I'm going to try again. And I sent in some videos for the audition. And I was really stressed about it because they kept trying to get backing tracks, and they kept telling me I need backing tracks, and I was like, okay, I don't really feel comfortable with backing tracks. I just want to play the song. So that's what I did. I just played the songs on guitar, and I sent them in, and they loved them, and they called me out. And yeah, the process is long and extensive. There's a lot. There's a lot. It's a long process, which we can't really get into too much. But it's really it's a lot. I found a lot of it to be a lot of fun because you got to meet a lot of really great people.
Yeah.
And you got to experience music from different places around the country, which was very nice, and music and people, which was a little bit of a culture shock for me because I'm used to being in these bubbles, and so I thought it was nice and interesting to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. But yeah, leading up to the blinds, it was, you said I was very comfortable. I was not, because
you was talking to Reba and Snoop you just knew them.
Yo, that's editing, my guy. It was very to me, and from my perspective, it seemed very I felt like I didn't do a good job. But again, and I've spoke to other people about this. A lot of people just blacked out in their blind audition because they were getting on the stage and they're just and just
the cameras, the lights.
Exactly. And I'm used to performing. I'm used to I perform every week, literally 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And so that's the part that I knew that I had, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm just gonna perform, do my thing, and then get the chair turn and be done.
Yeah.
The like talking was the like for me the scariest part, and like the going on the stage and as you said the light.
So Cameron, when you was on The Voice, when you sung, literally right before the first lyric came out of your mouth, you got a chair turn. I was like, he was like, man. Right when you said the memory part, somebody turned their chair. And then like 30 seconds into it, everybody else. Gwen Stefani, Snoop Dogg, Michael Bublé, and Reba McEntire. How was it up there on that stage with the lights? You getting those turns that quick? But before that, how was your journey at The Voice?
Yeah, so my journey also began before this season. I've auditioned for the show multiple times. I think the first season that they ever did The Voice, I auditioned.
Yeah.
And I actually got to a point where I just was disinterested in reality competitions for many reasons. And the show actually reached out to me. They were like, we want to cast you. And I was honestly kind of like...
Reached out to you.
Yeah, and I was really like, no. And I just had this long list of reasons why no, right?
Yeah.
And then my lovely partner, who is the voice of reason so many times when I might not be making the best decision or when there's just another option to consider, was just telling me, you know, there's nothing to lose. You know, you're just getting on a show, you're gaining more exposure. I think that if you look at this from a positive lens, then you'll get the positive, you know, rewards.
For sure.
And I was rolling my eyes and smacking my teeth, and because it was right. But I was going against my will, you know?
Right, yeah.
But I decided to go ahead and go forward with the process. So I put together a package, and the producers, they cast me. Leading up to the moment, getting on the stage in the blind audition, I actually wasn't nervous right before. I didn't black out. I didn't have anything. I was ready. I loved my outfit. I was like, this is what I was born to do. Like, what am I about to be nervous about?
Totally.
I wasn't nervous about none of them coaches. I've been around people in the industry. Even if I wasn't, I just don't look at people just because of their resume as a way to like be fearful of them. This is just a person who was once in my position chasing their dreams as a human. So I'm about to get up and sing. So I did that. I was as soon as I saw the chair turns, now I just said all of that. Despite my confidence, despite me knowing that I was gonna get 4 chairs, despite that, when it actually happens, there is a level of excitement that surges through your body because you're seeing something that you might be imagined, or like it's just a moment, like I said, that's being materialized. So when the first 2 chairs turned, they turned at the same time almost. I was very excited because it was just like, okay, now all the things that I imagined about this moment, now I'm witnessing. Yeah.
Definitely. Wow. This is so important hearing y'all's stories because there's so many artists, not just artists, but people with endeavors similar to y'all's. And they only see the glamour and the glitz and y'all made it to the next round. But this story right here, this is what's gonna really give people like inspiration and motivation. So, being on Team Michael Bublé, how was that experience? This man is like a pure legend. And you are right there with him. How is it working with him on The Voice?
You know, working with Michael is really awesome. I'm trying to figure out like how much I can say. Okay. Working with him is really cool. And I think it's more cool because it's just like working with another musician. One thing that I don't even feel like he's a coach. Like, he's sitting me down and he rarely gives me advice because he's a talker and I'm a talker. So sometimes he'll veer off into a story and we'll be talking about his kids at school or something, or a song, his favorite song. Like there's a moment where he starts talking about 80s pop music, and we talk for like 10 minutes, and production is like, all right, y'all, we got to get back to what we're here to record. Right. So it's honestly just like working with a friend. It feels organic. Yeah.
That's dope.
And he admires my talent, which feels good. It doesn't feel like, you know, when you're a kid at school and you can clearly sense the hierarchy between you and your teacher.
Totally.
It don't feel like that at all.
That is dope.
So I really enjoy it.
And just one other question. What made you choose Michael? You are looking at Gwen Stefani. Mm-hmm. This is Gwen Stefani right in front of you. Snoop Dogg, you know? And Reba McEntire, who was a champion the year before. What made you choose Michael out of these three icons? Global icons. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I chose him based off of what would be best for my personal career. Yeah. When I think about my voice, when I think about the things that I want to do and I will do, Michael is the piece to that puzzle. When I think about David Foster and, you know, even like the people that I'm compared to, like Whitney Houston. I mean, of course, Gwen Stefani's huge. Of course, there's a lot she could potentially give me on the show, and maybe there isn't. But Michael Bublé was the one.
For sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Great answer. And then you, bro, you know, for Reba to turn her chair, and this was towards, like, I'll say the final minute to 45 seconds. Number one, how did it feel continuing to sing, not seeing any chairs turn yet? And then to see her chair turn, how was that feeling, number one? Number two, working with Reba McEntire. She was the champion the year before that you came. So how was just those experiences? Because both of those are like just mind-blowing situations that we're watching in real time that you're actually experiencing, brother. Go ahead.
So, you know, we can't all be Cameron Wright, you know? So, yeah, no, it is one of those things, like, when you're up there, you're right, like, you're, like, it's not so much about the people and, like, their resumes, but it's more about them validating your personal belief in yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm a great singer. I know I'm a great singer. I can do this. And to not have anybody turn their chair, it's like, it's scary. And especially, like, she did it in the last possible second. And I was like, why would you do this to me? It was rough. And, like, you can see my wife's, like, just, like, terror in her eyes. Yeah. She's just, like, she's in her head, she's thinking, oh, he's going to just give up after this. He's just, like, not going to do music or something. And I'm like, I can't, that's not what, but you could see it in her eyes that she thought that. And I was like, very excited, you know, and for me, this was this was a performance. Like, this is the thing that I can do, right?
Yes.
Like, so I kept going. I kept doing it.
I saw that, bro.
And I'm just like, I'm going to sing. And what really...
Take me home.
Right. That Mark Broussard song, yeah.
She was going there, bro.
The thing that upset me the most about that is that her chair turn happened right when I was doing, like, my favorite part of the song. And I was like, could you just do it like 10 seconds before I get this, like, oh, you know, I really wanted people to hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, okay. But no, yeah, right. And no, so I was like, you know, like, it was really stressful for me. It was really like, you couldn't see it in my eyes, but I was feeling it. I was really feeling it. And when I didn't get any chair turns, what I decided to do was sing to the crowd, right? Because that's what I know. As a long-time wedding singer, yeah.
Being able to audible.
I'm gonna go. If they're not looking at me, I'm gonna go to who is looking at me, and I'm gonna sing to them. So that's what I did. I sang to the crowd, and then when I got the chair turn, you can see me point directly at Reba because I was like, "Yes, thank you, you did it."
Yes.
And speaking of Reba, I do want to mention that Michael Bublé is amazing. He is a talker. He is one of my favorite people to talk to. But no, Reba is also very incredible. And as a coach, she is just the sweetest person. And she really like motivates you to be your best, right? And she does that by believing in you. Like you saw like nobody else turned their chair for me. She turned her chair for me. She chose me in the battles, which just aired last week, and she believes in me, and I feel that every time I go on that stage. She's rooting for me.
Yes,
which is like something that is just. You can't ask for more than that. You know what I mean? So having her as my coach is a blessing, is a godsend, really.
Yeah. The thing I love about The Voice is it humanizes the icons, and it's really about the art. It's really about the delivery of the music, the delivery of the vocals, the way that they just look at those things and choose based on just like raw talent. That's what I love about it. So the battle. The voice battle. Tell me about that round. How was that?
So yeah, my battle aired last week. It was great. For me, like we got the Teddy Swim song, me and Kevin James Graham, and I love that song. And I was worried that I wasn't going to get that song this season. There were a few complications behind the scenes that we won't talk about, but I was like, am I going to get I want this song so bad.
Yeah.
And when I wrote my list for the blinds, I didn't see that on the options. So I didn't think I looked at it again later and I was like, oh, it's there. Damn it, I didn't write it down. But then I got it for my battle, and you can see my excitement when the song is chosen. You can see me jump out of my seat. I'm like, yes, that's the song I wanted.
Right. Yeah.
The song was made for me. Whenever I sing it, like people are like, yeah, that sounds just like the song. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
And it also fits very much into like the dirty soul vibe that I'm going for.
Yeah.
And singing it with Kevin was really an experience. He is like one of these like really like sort of like screamers, like a rock kind of guy.
Totally.
And I was stressing out because Kevin is like a character, right? And this is television, you know. They're going, it's called The Voice, but it's not just about The Voice, as Snoop says all the time. It's show business. And so I was stressing out. I thought I wasn't going to get it. I was like, and I'm not as like animated as him. I'm more of just like this is my voice. This is how it sounds. Take it or leave it, right?
Yeah.
And again, this is another example of Reba believing in me. And she chose me, and Kevin is a great singer as well. And I'm just glad that I got to be on that stage and sing that song in front of those people. It's a great experience. And like that battle has had like a ridiculous amount of views, which is like the coolest part of this.
Yes.
Like to see like 11 million people have watched this song is like, wow, it's amazing. It's really great.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
And Dirty Soul, you should
I'll make t-shirts.
Trademark that. Trademark that now.
I thought about it, but like it's
everybody. He owns Dirty Soul.
I do.
Don't take that.
It's a thing online already. I was like, I thought about it, but it's already taken.
Copyright that. And Cameron, the voice battle for you. How'd that go?
I mean, the experience, like you said, it's show business.
Right.
So, going into my blind audition, just in any space that I'm in, I believe in my gift. I don't have to go into the details of the whys. I believe in my gift.
Right.
I struggled a bit with the battle because it's show business. But everything happened the way it was supposed to. And ultimately, it was a great battle. I was paired up with a great singer. We're totally different, and I actually think that was the best part of the battle because we got to bring our own individual creative selves to this song. The song has such an expectation of how and who should sing it.
Right. Yeah.
And both of us did us. So yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Excellent. Now, your material that y'all are working on now. Cameron, I just saw you perform at Snapped Open Mic. Shout out to Snapped Open Mic.
Snapped.
You did amazing, incredible, and I think it was great that you came back to your hometown to rock at an open mic after being on NBC, you know, bright lights, cameras, and everything. And I heard your song Still, which is absolutely powerful. It is a hit. It has all the nuances of songs that I've heard from the past to even now that has like a deep message that penetrates, but at the same time, it has pop appeal without trying. It's just, this is me. And I think you have that kind of talent where you can naturally do what you want and the world will latch on. So tell them about the new material you're working on and your new single, Still.
Yes, so I just released Still a couple weeks ago. Still is actually a re-release for those that don't know. I recorded and wrote the song a long time ago, and I thought this would be the perfect time to give it back to the world. It is very rock. Like I said, I have many influences, and this is it. You can hear the Freddie Mercury influences in there as far as production. You can hear the Whitney undertones vocally.
Yeah.
All the things that make up my sound.
Right.
Yeah. As far as other things I'm working on, I'm not the person anymore that's going to overshare. So I have lots of things that I'm working on, but I don't want to spoil them.
That's the best way to do it, too.
So stay tuned.
Keep it under wraps.
You will know whether you stay tuned or not.
And you, Adam, with the band that you're with, On the Sun, traveling with Blue Water Kings, and your upcoming original material, and your release party for your upcoming single on December 19th at the Green Room. Tell them all about it.
Yeah, so I am doing a release of a single. I'm not going to overshare what. I'm getting tips from the professionals over here. I'm not going to overshare on what the single is going to be, but mainly because I don't know which one I'm going to release first. Right. But I did a crowdfunding campaign at the beginning of this year to raise a little bit of money to create a new record, and so it's already been recorded. It's in the mixing mastering process right now. And I'm going to release a single in December, one of the songs from that album, and then I'll release. I do want to share that I am releasing singles because I want people to hold me accountable for that.
Yes.
And so I'm going to be because if I don't,
it's a great way to do it.
If I don't, then I'm not gonna release them. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna release 3 singles leading up to a tour in early next year, in the spring of next year. That's gonna be with my original personal band, Adam Bohanan, and then with On the Sun, I'm releasing 3 singles next year as well. After I get back from the tour, I'm working on another really exciting project that I'm going to be working on 2 very exciting projects, which will lead to a whole other album and a new song with a music video, which is really, I'm pushing for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And again, hold me accountable. Get in the comments. Yeah.
We're all gonna.
Right. And so the thing that I'm mainly excited about is the Green Room. I'm actually like, Snapped Open Mic will not be happening on December 19th. Although you can come to Snapped Open Mic, but it won't be an open mic. It'll just be my show on December 19th. It's also my birthday the couple days before, so it's a birthday slash release party. Yeah. And that's and you know, there might be some guests coming through to sing some songs, maybe.
Nice.
Maybe some guests. I don't know.
I mean, do we keep that under wraps or is the cat out the bag? Which one? Is that under wraps or over wraps? We're talking about the wraps.
I'm just trying to make things happen.
Which
we're talking about.
Yeah, but there are some people unfortunately Frankie Torres, who's one of the singers from The Voice, is not going to be around. She's going to be in Italy at the time. She's going to visit her brother. But I did speak to Dahlia Jones, who's also on the show.
Nice. Shout outs to Dahlia. We love you, Dahlia.
She crushed her audition. So she might be there. Other people might be there.
Nice. People, December 19th.
December 19th, yeah.
Fly here from Dubai.
Yeah,
from
real.
England, from Israel, from Houston,
Hey.
from LA, you know? It's gonna be amazing. And the last question, well, first of all, before the last question, I just wanna say I'm very, very supremely proud of you two. You know, y'all are being a great example of what an artist can become if they just believe, if they just continue. Because we all know an artist's journey has ups, downs, peaks, valleys, but when you keep that soul going, you continue to believe it can happen. So on behalf of the Twin Cities, you know, I want to say we are very proud of y'all. You know,
Thank you.
For you two both to be based in Minneapolis and advance on The Voice says a lot about the town and the talent that is here. So just what can you leave this interview? What message, you know, for Twin Cities artists and artists across the world? Because regardless of what you do in your careers, you've already won. You know, you've already made like an incredible impact. There's gonna be great things, but I really want you to understand how monumental your journeys on The Voice is to your careers and how inspirational it is to everyone, not just music, but everyone. So what advice can you give or words of encouragement can you give to artists and to people that have a dream and a goal to be on that same stage and beyond?
I think Cameron should start this because I want to hear them talk about it first.
Yes.
I think the main advice that I can just give to folks is the advice I give to myself every day, which is just don't give up. Don't give up. Even when you feel like it, even when things don't seem like they're gonna work out, don't give up. Because just when you potentially might actually stop, you might be on the precipice of a breakthrough, of a huge blessing, of an opportunity. And the career, the journey is going to be full of, like you said, the downs and the ups.
Definitely.
Please don't give up.
For sure. Excellent answer.
Okay, damn. I was hoping I could steal something that you said. No. So what I would say was like a big part of moving forward in your career is community. Honestly, I think that building connections with other people and making personal connections with people is very important.
Yes.
And so that's honestly one of the best parts that I felt coming from the show. Is just like making new connections and meeting new people, and that's really what it's about. So get yourself out there is the main thing that I would suggest for anybody trying to like make it in the business, and just do as much as you possibly can. And as my friends like to say, ABP, always be posting. you know, it's work,
Right.
but it's your job. You know.
Yes.
And yeah, just like I think it's you are always on the precipice. Every one of us is always, if you are in the industry, you're always on the precipice of making it.
Indeed.
So like, just hone your craft, and if you think you're not good enough to do it, work. And I'm not saying pull yourself up by your bootstraps, because I would never say that. But you know, keep doing what you're doing and work hard, and you'll go. Something's gonna happen, one way or the other. So I that's what I suggest. Yeah.
Indeed.
I have to say something else.
Oh.
Adam just threw me some shade.
Oh, what?
No, you didn't. But I'm going to give a little nugget,
Okay.
a little BTS. Adam said during this process, you know, making community and you know, I have been.
I did not. I was not.
Adam, when we're in LA, I was like, "You want to hang out?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to go to my room." That has been the running joke with the cast, that Cameron don't be wanting to be bothered with y'all.
See, no, but Cameron, you
But
don't
that's
need
not
to.
the
You don't need
case.
to. Your voice says it all. You don't need to be connecting with you. Just like
He was
out
like,
there.
make community,
Just one
make
note.
sure that you connect with everybody. Don't go to your room
potency stays
when
in the room
everybody
when
want to
Cameron
go out
leaves.
to eat. Bring your tail with us. That was to me, because I have not been doing that. Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't even about that.
Have you noticed like the dopest artists are the most to themselves. You
No,
know?
it's true.
I'm telling you.
Exhibit A.
I'm telling you, man. But everybody, Cameron Wright, Adam Bohanan. My name's Chadwick, Niles, Phillips from the Avant Garde. Thank you two so much for this interview.
Thank you.
Indeed, indeed. And please support every endeavor that they have, every single endeavor, because your support is what's going to push them forward and it's going to inspire you as you go on as well. So, love and light. Peace.